What's up, people? So today I got to drop off the dash cam that my buddy Frank won. I haven't seen him in years. I haven't seen the guy literally in about 20 years. He was the 75th comment on our Instagram giveaway. Here's a picture of the camera that I just gave away. The company that I was reviewing it for sent me 2 of them. And he was the guy that won it. It's like the second person that I know personally that won one of my giveaways. So that's super cool to me. So rather than mail it to him, he lives right over the bridge. Decided to take a drive over there this afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon. Catch up with him and give him the camera in person. There's an officer sitting over here. He always sits in this little trap off the Betsy Ross Bridge. Anyway, it was nice catching up with the guy. I haven't seen him in forever. He's like family to me. Him and his brother. I've known him all my life. His brother's my age. Michael was a cop, and found out today, I hadn't seen Mike in a while, that Mike was medically retired. He got injured during an arrest, and it's like everybody I know. My own brother, who was in the fire department, got seriously injured while on the job and was medically retired, so he decided to take his retirement. He's younger than me, and become a nurse. Like I said, finding out today that my buddy was hurt. I mean, he's good to go now, but man, I'll tell you what, our first responders don't get enough credit. They don't get the credit that they should get. To all my friends and family who are police officers and firefighters and nurses, listen, you are the real heroes out there. Those of us that served in the military, we're just doing a job. But what you guys do every single day, man, you guys need more credit, seriously. But anyway, it was nice to go see Frank, catch up with him for a couple of minutes, drop the camera off, tell him to make sure he's entered for the next one. We have the next giveaway coming up very shortly. As soon as I hit 5,000 subscribers, I'll put that video up, and then you guys and girls can comment on it, and somebody's going to win. That's a $600 camera. Blackview, my sponsor, is they're awesome. They're just really great, world-class organization, and I'm not just stroking them by saying this. I've said this before I even was connected with them. They're just really, really nice people, you know, and their product is something that I'll put my name behind. And everybody who's had a Blackview that I know also likes their cameras. So stay tuned for that. Tuesday morning, don't forget to check back in Tuesday morning for our first ProCharger update. I'm looking at the weather for this Friday, and we may or may not be able to get to the track. It's rain in the afternoon, and that sucks because I don't want to get rained out, spend all that money and get rained out. So we'll see what happens as the week goes on. Also, I want to, before I forget, Frank, the guy who won the dash cam that I was just over his house, he sent me a picture. I want to show you in the corner of my screen right here. That was my first car I ever purchased. I bought it from him. $400. It was a 1979 Cutlass Brougham. It had a 350 in it. The thing was fast as hell for its day. God, it was a lot of fun to drive. I used to love that car. And I never told my parents that I bought it. Great story, how I got caught with it. Another guy who was a friend of mine happened to come by one night. I was installing a Pioneer radio into it. Now, it had T-tops, as you can see from the photo, and the T-tops were easy to break into. You just use a butter knife, you can pop them open. Well, the next day, this guy came back, broke into my car, and stole my radio. I'll tell you how we know all this in a minute. So, I'm getting ready for school. There's a knock at the door. Lady answers, comes to the door. My mom's like, hello, and she's like, yeah, your son's car got broken into. My son doesn't have a car. She's like, yeah, the gray one, he parks around the corner. Threw me right under the bus. She didn't know. So my mom yells for me to come downstairs. I'm still getting ready for school, and she's like, "Hey, your car got broken into." I'm like, "What?" I go running around the corner. There's my T-tops laying on the ground. Radio's gone. Son of a bitch. So I had to go answer for that, obviously, because my parents wanted to know how I bought a car, how I got insurance, which I didn't. I kind of, I won't talk about that. But so a couple days went by, and a friend of mine who, kind of shady individual, but a real good dude, says to me, "Yo, I know who stole your radio." And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "So-and-so took it." I'm not going to name him. I said, "How do you know?" He goes, "It's your radio. It had the little mark on the side that you put on there, etc." I said, "All right." He's like, "We're going to go steal it back." I said, "Yeah." Now, this gentleman had a 65 Mustang, and he had a screwdriver that kept the window up. So we went over to his house one night, popped the window down, broke into the car, stole the radio back, got my radio back. And then while we were in there, my buddy was like, "Listen, we got to make this look like a real job, because he's going to know if we just take the radio that something's fishy." So we took some of his tapes, his cassette tapes, make it look like a real break-in. 20 years goes by. We're at a bar for a going-away party for another friend of mine who was all over the news. I won't talk about that, and he says to me, he's all drunk, he says, "Man, I got something to get off my chest. 20 years I've been holding this in." I was like, "Yeah?" And I had a couple beers, and he's like, "I'm the one that took your radio." And I started laughing. He was like, you think that's funny?" And I was like, "No, let me tell you." I was like, "I know you took my radio." He's like, "What?" I said, "We knew you took my radio. We're the ones that broke in and stole it back a couple days later." He was like, "Oh, I felt guilty all these years and you stole it back." I'm like, "Yeah, I felt guilty stealing it back." That was funny. We hugged it out. We had some more beers, but it was a good laugh. We were kids. What you could do when you're 17, 18 years old. Stupid shit. He steals my radio. We steal it back. He confesses. I confess. Good times. Anyway, that's my story. That's my afternoon. I'm almost home. You guys and girls be safe. That's all I got for you. I'm out.